Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are here for the Michigan preview for the NASCAR Truck Series. So another race for the Truck Series. I'm super excited about this race, Jay, and I just want to let fans know a few things as we get into our preview here. And that is Michigan International Speedway did announce that MIScamping.com infield for the June NASCAR weekend has officially sold out. So that they've done that now for 4 years straight. General camping, though, grandstand tickets and hospitality is still available for fans to experience NASCAR's return to the Irish Hills of Michigan International Speedway. Now, fans can still get in on all the race action and grandstand tickets outside campsites across Michigan's largest registered campground and hospitality options for the weekend. So campsite areas are still available, include Brooklyn Trails located in Brooklyn Highway across from the track, the Brookfest Acres located outside of Turn 4, M50 Creekside located behind Turn 3, and Gray's Family Campground located on US 12, High Banks located outside Turn 3, and Tree Farm, which is just outside Turns 3 and 4. That is one of the reasons people love Michigan International Speedway are the camping facilities. They abound in that area, and people can go out there and camp and go see the race and have a really great weekend.
Most certainly, and that's not one I've done at a NASCAR race per se, but I have done at some dirt tracks when they have 2-day shows. My nephew just did it, so yeah, hopefully they all have a good time, and that's awesome to see that the main one there sold out for the 4th year in a row. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Now, we also know that DQ Solutions and Staffing has been named the NASCAR Craftsman Trucks Race Entitlement Partner. The series returns to MIS with DQS Solutions and Staffing 200, powered by Precision Vehicle Logistics, for Saturday, June the 7th. That's for the Truck Series. So you want to tell them a little bit about what DQ Solutions and Staffing does?
All right. DQS Solutions and Staffing serves as a trusted partner for top-tier staffing while delivering an innovative workforce and business solutions across diverse industries with expertise in the automotive sector. Along with staffing, other services include security, warehousing, key management systems, automation, transportation, snow removal if you need that, and food truck operations. DQS Solutions and Staffing has been recognized as Michigan's fastest growing company and gives back to the community through its nonprofit Foundation for Pops and partnerships like the River Rouge School District. So great partner to have. Again, it sounds like it's one-stop shopping for all your business needs.
It does indeed. And to know that they're one of the fastest growing businesses in Michigan is really kind of cool. And I'm so glad that they partnered with Michigan Speedway, International Speedway. Now, the DQS Solutions and Staffing 250, powered by Precision Vehicle Logistics at Michigan International Speedway, is Saturday, June the 7th. And now, Michigan is a 2-mile asphalt paved oval. The race starts at around 12 p.m. Eastern Time and will be televised on Fox. Also, radio coverage is available on NASCAR Radio Network, NRN, and SiriusXM NASCAR Channel 90. Now, they're going to race a distance of 250 miles over 125 laps. Stage 1 is 30 laps ending on lap 30. Stage 2, 30 laps ending on lap 60. And then the final stage is 65 laps ending on lap 125. They will have on Saturday their practice and Kennemental pole qualifying on FS1 starting at 8 a.m. And then the race, of course, is at noon. So that's why that is starting so early. I suspect, Jay, you've already checked out the entry list for this weekend.
I have, again, being that the Cup Series and ARCA Series are there, I was surprised it wasn't going to be a full field, but there are some noted names to be in it. There's going to be 32 drivers for 36 spots. The notes to add here, Lawless Allen will be in the number 1. That's a Tricon garage machine. The number 2 is Morgan Baird. The number 7 back again is Carson Hocevar. The 44 for Nice Motorsports will be Ross Chastain. And the 66 is going to be Luke Fenhouse. So those are some we've been seeing more races from. Excited to see. I'm a fan of Carson Hocevar's. I know that's been one of our hot topics we'll get to on Monday, possibly. But I'm a fan of his. Maybe needs some growing, but
yeah, I think we all admit that he's on a learning curve. He's a young guy. And I have confidence that he will go through that learning curve. I'm glad to see Ross Chastain being back in the car, and Luke Fenhouse and some of these other drivers. Alan Lawless, he's doing so well. This is going to be double duty for him because, he is tied for second in the ARCA Menard Series, and they're racing on Friday. So double duty for Lawless Allen.
Yeah, certainly a driver that's coming into his own, and Michigan, a great place to do that. When we look at the overall stories and insights for Michigan, this weekend marks the 22nd running of a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Michigan International Speedway, but it's the first since 2020.
Yeah, they've been on a hiatus, and now they're back, and I'm so happy for that. Now, teams are going to get that 50 minutes of practice on Friday. And then qualifying on Saturday morning, again, 8 a.m. So it's going to be early. If you want to watch that.
Now, Sharon mentioned this is the 6th race in a row of a 6 consecutive race stretch. So that's been great to see the trucks each and every week, at least for the past 6 weeks.
It has been. And Michigan is one of 6 new tracks on the 25 schedule. 4 are returning to the Truck Series. So we already raced at Rockingham. That was new on the schedule this year. That was back in April. This weekend, it's going to be Michigan. And then, boy, look at this. Rockingham, it's been 4,387 days in between races. So the last race before April of this year was on April 14th of 2013. So we already mentioned the last race at Michigan, August 7th of 2020. And then this weekend, 1,765 days between races. Coming up on the schedule is Lime Rock, one of the road courses on the schedule. That race will be in June 28th. And then Friday, August 8th, we'll go to Watkins Glen, another road course. That'll be Saturday, August. Their last race there prior to this year was in 2021, 1,482 days in between races. And in September, it's New Hampshire. Their last race was September of 2017, 2,919 days between races. And new on the schedule is the Charlotte Roval. That'll be Friday, October the 3rd. And that was new on the schedule this year. So not a lot of races in between.
Well, and I like the mixture. You got a couple of short tracks with Rockingham and New Hampshire. The road courses, I really like Lime Rock Park because nobody else goes there. I know we see the Xfinity and the Cup at Watkins Glen, as well as the Charlotte Roval, which I think the trucks tend to put on a good road course show. I go back to thinking about some of the ones from Canadian Tire Park that we've seen in the past. But again, for Michigan, 1,765 days between Michigan races, which was actually the 3rd highest on that list of ones we saw return, Rockingham being the highest.
And I will say this too, Jay. There's not many races left on the regular season schedule for the Truck Series.
That is true. The intensity going to pick up on these road courses for sure. And there were 15 different winners in the last 16 Michigan races. Brett Moffitt in 2016 and 18, the only repeat winner in that period. And I don't believe he's entered this weekend. So that means that streak will continue.
Yes, that's going to probably continue a number of streaks here. The race winner started 10th or better in the last 11 Michigan Truck Series races, and Michigan winner has a 7.5 average start. So that's something to watch for this weekend. Starting positions, that's why qualifying is so important. Starting position is going to be really important at Michigan.
It is on a pseudo drafting track, if you will. We talked about that with the Arkham Menard series, certainly a factor, as well as then that final lap. It's not a guarantee, but 3 of the last 5 Michigan races were won with a last lap pass. And we know fans like to see that kind of action.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Michigan is also tied for second most laps passes since 2016. And keep in mind, they did not hold a race from 2021 to 2024. So for them to be tied for second most last lap passes is pretty amazing.
Now, before we get into specific drivers, I want to look at organizations. ThorSport Racing is the only active Craftsman Truck Series team with a win at Michigan.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I think that is fascinating, because consider this: 4 organizations won in 2025. All 4 organizations that have won races have won multiple races. So Spire has 4 wins, Tricon Garage 4 wins, Front Row Motorsports 2 wins, and McAnally Hilgeman Racing have 2 wins. So the Can ThorSport challenge those 4 organizations?
Well, and I hate to go against ThorSport Racing, but yeah, as we see those top organizations that have been strong this year. Now, talking about starting up front and leading, the driver who has led the most laps has won 7 of the 12 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races in 2025.
Yeah, that's a good stat to watch too. Who's leading the most laps? Because if they're leading the most laps, it's likely that they'll be the driver to win the race. Now, here's another great stat. The last 4 races of 2025, the last 4 races in the Truck Series by 2025 have been won by different drivers. 4 different drivers, 4 different races. Can they keep that streak alive?
I hope so, and I know I got my pick already in mind, but let's look back at getting a first career win at Michigan. There's only been 5 of them in the Craftsman Truck Series to get their first series race win at Michigan International Speedway. Johnny Benson in 2006, Colin Brown in 2009, Nelson Piquet Jr. in 2012, Brett Moffitt's in 2016 was his first win, and then Zane Smith in 2020.
All right. Now, let's hope that this next one doesn't continue. In 4 of the last 7 Craftsman Truck Series races of this year, qualifying was canceled. So let's hope that that doesn't happen this weekend at Michigan.
No, most certainly not. We always hate to see that, because that adds to some statistics, and that's the pole award. We got 4 Craftsman Truck Series that have won their first series pole at Michigan International. Jamie McMurray in 2000. Wow, Kyle Busch is first in 2005. Brian Ickler in 2009, and then Joey Coulter in 2012. I love hearing some of these names again.
I do too. I just love it. Okay, now Daniel Hemrick is the only driver in the Craftsman Truck Series to complete every lap so far this year. The first season since 2019 that a driver has completed every lap through the first 12 races. And Crafton was the only other driver to do it. He did that in 2019.
Well, and I said it, Brett Moffitt being the last one to have multiple wins. None of the drivers entered in this weekend's Craftsman Truck Series race has won at Michigan, so we are guaranteed a new winner at Michigan.
It will be a new winner. All right, now 18 of the drivers that are entered in this weekend's race have not raced at Michigan in the Craftsman Truck Series. So that's more than half the field.
It is. Speaking of half, 5 of the 10 playoff positions now held by race winners with 6 races to go in the Craftsman Truck Series regular season. Sharon alluded to it, 6 races left. So It's go time.
And that includes Michigan. So only 5 spots left, 6 races to fill those spots. Now, 2 of the remaining 6 regular season races are on road courses, and we talked about that. The one we talked about at the Roval is actually during the playoffs, but in the regular season, there are 2 road courses left for these guys to qualify for the playoffs.
And we've talked about this, how much things can change. Raja Karuth was 13th in the playoff standings, minus 17 to the bubble before winning at Nashville. Now he's in, guaranteed with a lock. Well, at this point, a lock with that win. But outside the playoff standings, teams lost 38 or more points to the cut line. They may have had a great race, finishing in the top 5, but lost points because a winner outside jumped in.
Exactly right. And we've talked about that, Jay, the possibility of someone below the cut line getting that win and kind of spoiling it for some of the people that were currently sitting inside that cut line. So now it puts a little more pressure on them to get in too. Okay, Corey LaJoie is going to become the 13th driver to race for Spire Motorsports in the Truck Series this year. Now, LaJoie announced that he's going to compete in 9 Truck Series races this season for the team. So Kyle Busch has been in that truck. I think he's reached his limit for what he can do as a full-time Cup Series driver. So Corey LaJoie is going to step in and fill that seat. I think that's fantastic.
I agree. I love seeing Corey LaJoie on the track, and we'll see how he does here in the Craftsman Truck Series. We talk about the competitiveness of the series. 13 different drivers have won stages in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series through 12 races. So we see a variety of drivers up front and winning these stages.
Yes, indeed. Well, who do you think has the most? Well, that name is Corey Heim. He leads the Craftsman Truck Series in stage wins this season with 9. Lane Riggs has the second most, and he only has 3. So 6 stage wins difference there.
Now, Corey Heim has been dominant across the board as he's the only driver to lead laps in all 12 Truck Series races this season. He leads the series with laps led at 812, which is 40.6%. Not quite half, but real close.
That's amazing when you think about it. Corey Heim just continues to make waves and make history. Now, 8 different drivers have won the fastest lap award in the Truck Series. That, of course, is led by none other than the series points leader, Corey Heim, with 4 awards. He has half of those awards himself.
Now, on the flip side, talk about having a great dominant season. Last year's Truck Series champion, Ty Majeski, currently sitting in the 10th and final transfer spot on points, is up a stout 48 points on rookie Giovanni Ruggiero in 11th, which is the first spot outside the postseason cut line. But again, that factors in of if somebody outside the cut line jumps in, those points mean nothing because now you're behind.
Exactly. So the 2-time series champion, talk about series champions. Here's 2 amazing series champions, Ty Majeski that Jay talked about, and now Ben Rhodes. He's currently 13th in the playoff outlook. He's 51 points from that cut line. But Ty Majeski right now is inside that line, but Ben Rhodes is certainly capable of winning races, and he could be another driver that could come from below that cut line and push somebody else out. All right. So again, we're going to look at some other stats and information here, stated maybe a little bit differently, but some of it will sound familiar to you because the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series had that 4-year hiatus, and they're returning, and I think that makes this race particularly exciting.
It does, especially since they're wrapping up 6 consecutive weeks of competition here at Michigan International Speedway with this DQS Solutions and Staffing 200 powered by Precision Vehicle Logistics. And again, it's new for most of the teams. Obviously, we mentioned only Thor Sport having won there before. So I think it's going to be an interesting race for sure.
Exactly. Now, this marks the first time since 2020 that the series is raced at that 2-mile track. It's nestled just outside of Detroit. Zane Smith, now a NASCAR Cup Series regular, he claimed his first ever win in the Truck Series the last time the trucks raced at Michigan. No current full-time drivers have won there, but plenty have competed there. ThorSport Racing is the only team with a previous win.
And not just the series being ultra competitive, but the track historically has been as well. And that's where you get those 15 different winners in the last 16 races. Now, qualifying is shown to be very important, as we stated, with that race winner starting 10th or better in the last 11 races. So maybe bright and early Saturday morning, but qualifying, very important.
Very important. You want to watch and see if your driver is in that top 10. The season's 4-time race winner, Tricon Garage's Corey Heim, leads the championship standings. He's now extended his advantage to 122 points over second place driver McAnally, Hilgeman Racing's Daniel Hemrick. Now, Front Row Motorsports' Chandler Smith and Hemrick's teammate Tyler Ankrum round out the top 4 in the driver standings. But Corey Heim has just been dominant.
Yeah, he can't come with much stronger word for sure. However, it's still been a competitive upfront, if you will, as the last 4 races coming into Michigan have been won by 4 different drivers. We do have NASCAR Cup Series regular Carson Hocevar being one of them, Chandler Smith mentioned, then Corey Heim and Rajah Caruth last week. And that's what was great to me about Rajah Caruth's win, was he held off Corey Heim.
Yes, that was impressive. Okay, and exciting to watch as well. Now, 5 of the 10 playoff spots, we mentioned it earlier, have been claimed by virtue of a victory. 6 remaining spots are there to set the final playoff field. Now, the reigning Cup Series champ, Ty Majeski, still racing for his first win of the season. He sits in 10th, that final transfer spot, and he's 48 points up on the rookie Giovanni Ruggiero. Now, here's the thing, though. Ty Majeski is certainly capable of winning as well. If he can get that win, he's going to secure his spot. So,
and we've seen that from that driver and team of late season push into a championship. So do not count him out by any means.
No way.
Now, again, we mentioned bright and early Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time on FS1 will be practice and Kennametal pole qualifying, and it's very important. We'll see how that sets up this race for Michigan.
Yes, indeed. There is so much to look forward to. I don't know. Did you want to go over the points, Jay?
All right. We can do a kind of a quick overview here. Pretty much mention the top 4 with victories, as well as then Rajah Caruth going to slide up there with him back in the 10th spot right now. But then you have Grant Enfinger in 5th, Lane Riggs in 6th. 7th is Caden Honeycutt. 8th, Jake Garcia. 9th, Ty Majeski. Now, again, technically, he is the cut line at 356 points. What they didn't mention, though, we talk about how he might get bumped out. He is only 3 points behind Jake Garcia. They are 20-some points behind Caden Honeycutt. Again, not fully secure, but in a solid position. Again, barring somebody from below the cut line winning. Now, when we look at below the cut line, we mentioned rookie Giovanni Ruggiero. You also got Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, Tanner Gray, Matt Crafton, and we know any one of those drivers either has or can win.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be a wild next 6 races.
It is going to be wild, and the intensity is going to be big. It'll be part of the storyline as they wind down their season. And I was looking at those people who have gained stage points throughout this season. Of Corey Himes, 566 points, 171 of those are stage points. When you look at Daniel Hemrick, he only has 82 and he's in second spot. That tells me that he is finishing better than what he's maybe racing throughout the race.
And we've seen this, in my opinion, of when the stage racing first started. At that time it was Furniture Row Racing with Martin Truex Jr. I think really understood that and capitalized on it and picked up their championship. We've seen it evolve in other teams, but I think especially here in the Truck Series, how much more vital it is.
Well, another driver who's taken advantage of those stage points is Chandler Smith in third place. Of his 441 points, 108 of those are stage points. And he's just 3 points behind Daniel Hemrick. Daniel moved up one spot. Chandler moved down one spot. But the other big mover there, of course, was Raja Caruth. With his win, he moved up 3 spots in the series point standings.
Certainly, like I said, these final 6 races, again, we could have a full field if we were to get 6 new winners. I don't know that I see that happening because you got to conquer Corey Heim. But how close are we going to get? Actually, the Truck Series only takes 10. So with 6 races, there's only 4 spots. So it could be that we do have a full field. I know we haven't seen that in any of the series as of yet. Again, I don't know that I see it in the Truck Series, but that does make that points battle all that more intense.
Right. Only 5 drivers have wins, Jay. So only 5 drivers are secure by virtue of the victory.
Okay, you're right. 5 out of 10. There we go. I don't know. Oh, because I was thinking the top 4, but adding Raja in is 5.
So still going to be a tight battle to see who those other 5 drivers are going to be, because like you said, Jake Garcia and Ty Majeski are only separated by 3 points. And then you go down, Giovanni Ruggiero and Stuart Friesen, 1 point separate them. And 2 points back is Ben Rhodes. So 3 points between 11, 12, and 13th place drivers. So those guys are going to be fighting hard to get themselves in that better position.
And that's where we talk about it. Each and every point matters, to include the Xfinity Fast Lap of the race award. There again, it may only be 1, but that could be half of a points gap or the difference, and then you end in a tie and hopefully have the tiebreaker. So they're going to be racing hard for each and every point.
And let's not forget Tyler Ankrum and Grant Enfinger. Tyler has a win, but Grant Enfinger doesn't. But he is tied with Tyler Ankrum for that 4th place spot. So that 1 point is going to be huge. And I can't wait to see this race, Jay.
It is, and you know that the high speeds, maybe some aggressive moves. I'll see if I can bait you into your race pick with that. Who do you think it's going to be?
Who do I think it's going to be? I'm going to go with your guy, Jay. I'm going to say Ty Majeski secures his spot.
All right. Well, like I said, I kind of hinted at mine of the aggressiveness, and we've seen the 2 of them both be there. I got 2 of them, and they've actually come together on occasion. That's Lane Riggs and or Carson Hocevar. We'll see which one's more aggressive.
Yes, Carson is very aggressive. Ooh, Ross Chastain's going to be hard in this one too.
That was the 3rd one. I was trying not to take 3 picks, but yeah, you're right. Especially when I talk about that, of being aggressive, making some bold moves, if you will. Now, on the other hand, that can bite you in a hurry at a track like Michigan.
You are absolutely right. If I'm going to, I'll take Ty Majeski with Ross Chastain. You got Wallace Allen with Carson Hocevar.
All right.
All right. So do watch for more coming soon. We did already publish our ARCA Menard Series preview for Michigan. So that's out there and getting views already. And then after this, Jay and I are going to do the Cup Series preview for Michigan International Speedway. And Again, only 3 races this weekend, Jay, but I'm looking forward to all 3 of those races.
They are, and I think for the Truck Series, most specifically, probably the impact it's going to have, or most noticeable impact on the playoffs as it comes down, just because they are getting down to it in short-on races.
All right. Now, you know, after the weekend's over, Jay, Sal, and I are going to be back on Monday for all of the reviews of these 3 races. And then Jay is joining me along with Chris Crichton for our NASCAR Hot Topic Sound Off. And we've got some good ones already lined up for Monday's conversation. And that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Pacific time. So do watch for more coming soon here on Fan for Racing Radio. And then, of course, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And the channel is growing. We're moving in the right direction, Jay.
Well, and with that there, as you mentioned it, I was kind of writing down the hot topics, a couple of the ones we talked about. So if you fans have some, want to chime in, throw them up there on any of the videos. We'll get them in and incorporate them into Monday night's show. We'd love to hear from you.
What do you have jotted down so far, Jay?
It's a legal issue. I can't talk about it right now. No, the lawsuit with 2311. We saw some news on that front. Corey LaJoy, I had forgotten about that, of returning to the Truck Series here. We're 9 races with Spire Motorsports, and that's kind of a coincidence since they was, I want to say, pushed out of Spire, but
yeah,
a driver change there. So I thought that was kind of of maybe that they're rebuilding the bridges, amending the bridges, if you will.
Yes, that sounds like it might be the case. So anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you, Jay, in the next video along with the viewers. So take care, everybody.